So we have the quadratic here, 10 minus 3a minus a squared, and we're going to factor this. Note that the quadratic is written in ascending order. So if we were to rewrite this in descending order, we would get negative a squared minus 3a plus 10. So you can see here, writing this in descending order puts this in standard form. And now I can see that my leading coefficient is -1. So before factoring the quadratic, I'm going to factor out a -1. And so that gives me -1 parentheses. Negative a squared divided by -1 is a squared. Negative 3a divided by -1 is plus 3a. And positive 10 divided by -1 is minus 10. So now I can see that I can factor the quadratic a squared plus 3a minus 10. So I'm going to do a -1 and then 2 sets of parentheses. A squared here tells me that I have an a in the first position of each set of parentheses. And then the minus 10 is telling me that my signs are going to be a positive and a negative. So now let's think about factors that multiply to -10. So we can say 1 times -10. That's not going to work. We can also say -1 times 10, which isn't going to work either. 2 times -5. That's not going to work, but -2 times +5, that looks like that will work. So -2 plus 5 gives us 3, which is our B value. And then -2 times 5 gives us -10, which is our C value. So I can see here I have plus 5 after my A and -2 after my other A. So you can write your answer here multiple ways. If you want to write this as a negative and then parentheses a plus 5, close parentheses, parentheses a minus 2, close parentheses. You don't need to write the 1 in your answer because it's assumed. You can leave your answer that way. Sometimes people prefer to not have that negative out front, and so they might distribute it into the first group. It's not necessary, but if you want to do that, it would look like the following. You would get negative a minus 5 in one set of parentheses, and then the second set you would have a minus 2.